A very warm welcome to you once again. My name is Geoff O'Brien. You are listening to the Solihull Radio featured content output, which, of course, today is food and drink related. We are joined in the studio by Anita, our food and drink correspondent, expert and reviewer. And she's brought a very special guest in today to talk a little bit about one of our local venues that she's helping manage. And we're going to have a chat a little bit about that a little bit later on. Right, let's see where we start today with our food and drink. And we're back in the room. Anita, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you, Geoff?
Yeah, good. It's been a long time, hasn't it?
I know. I come back especially because it's National Tequila Day.
Yay, tequila. Now, tequila for me is primarily a cocktail ingredient. I can't do it on its own.
Oh, no. Oh, well, you've got to have it on its own now and again.
I can't. It's all that thing about rubbing salt in your...
Salt on your hand,
Yeah.
give it a lick.
Yeah. Lemon in your eye.
Slice of lime, not even lemon. Slice of lime, give it a suck.
Oh, it's not
Knock
for me.
it back and away you go.
Right, so what's happening in terms of tequila world?
Well, as it's National Tequila Day, Bodega Canteen are doing a special offer today. So if you have not been down there, it's from the Bitters and Twisted group. So head on down to New Street because they've got lots of tequilas on offer,
right.
Neat and in cocktails as well. Pina colada.
Lovely. That's where I'm going. Yeah, standard.
That's good. I mean, I had a stark induction into tequila because my mum and dad used to go to Mexico quite a lot, and on our first family trips, you know, my mum and dad would like doing tequila shots with the best of them. Wow. So I blame my parents.
That's rock and roll, that is, isn't it?
I know.
Sorry, just before we move on from tequila, that is the one with the little fly that lives in the bottle or whatever it does, isn't it?
And some of them have a little worm.
Oh.
Yes, the tequila worm. Not meant to be drink, but I don't know if it's meant to be in. I don't think it's an aphrodisiac, but something meant to make it potent. But
okay,
yes.
Move on. What's next on our food and drink?
Well, I thought I'd just round up of some of the places that we've been visiting over the past few weeks. So Rudy's Pizza opened on Monday. They had a whole week of soft launches, and I think they invited 3,000 people to come and try their pizzas, and it's damn good, excuse my language.
Okay.
But I'm not one for going out for pizzas much because I find it very samey, but it was very, very good.
Whereabouts are these guys based?
So, I want to say it's off New Street. I think I want to say Bennett Hill, but I think it's the one after it. It's housed in the old Amantia. Very nice big building, a real nice party buzz in there. So you walk in there, it's very busy, very bustling.
And of course, now with the summer holidays, pizza's always good for kids.
Kids love pizza. Then my youngest, he doesn't like pizza that much. He loved it because the bases in there are really, really soft. It's a bit like having a naan bread, like pizza topping a naan. It was that soft. It just cooked in their oven for 60 seconds. Buffalo mozzarella, and even the very simplest of pizzas are really, really nice.
60 seconds.
Went down a treat.
That's a hot oven
for a
60-second cooking time.
And just across the road, you've got Franco Manco that opened about a month ago.
Right.
That's had mixed reviews. I've not been there yet, but it's sort of like they're head to head in pizza wars because they're literally directly opposite each other.
Okay.
But makes a good, nice change to support this as opposed to your Pizza Expresses and your Pizza Huts.
That's right, and there's lots of those around, isn't there? Those sort of franchise ones.
Yes.
Okay, so we've had the pizza explosion in central Birmingham.
Yeah.
Where else? What else is happening?
Well, talking about going out for things with kids, you could Bodega, as I mentioned again, are doing free dinners for under 10s if you've got a main meal purchased by an adult. So I think it's a minimum spend of £10 and you can feed your children for free. Obviously, there's 6 weeks of holidays to fill, so any little bits and bobs that are little offers that you can, do on the cheap and cheerful will be really, really good. Nando's in Touchwood, very, very good chicken. It's on point. Haven't been to Nando's for about 5 years, I think.
Wow.
But it's very good. I'm
going to edit this bit out because we can't say Nando's has got good chicken and then you say I haven't been there for 5 years.
No, I haven't been there for 5 years, but I've been today after 5 years. Shall I say that?
Oh, okay.
Yes, I went today after having not been for 5 years.
And you weren't disappointed?
I wasn't disappointed.
Okay,
yes,
that's
very,
brilliant
very
stuff.
good, yes.
Oh, well, in that case, that'll make the final edit in our food and drink podcast today, Anita. That's the sort of up-to-date reporting we like. Okay, we've been today to test this for you. And
my stomach is still full.
And it turns out that Nando's chicken is all right.
It's all right. It's better than all right.
Said Anita, our food and drink reviewer from Delicious PR. Thank you very much.
No problem.
Okay, right, we've gone through those. And from my point of view and my perspective, having the little ones over the summer holidays, it's always good to have little places to go for a very quick lunch where you don't have a lot of fuss and hassle and things like that.
So I've brought along my good friend Ruby from Summerhouse Bar and Grill because child-friendly pubs is on the uprise, and it's really good to know which are the best ones to go to if you want to fancy yourself an adult pint, but it's still child-friendly enough to take your children.
So where have you hidden this Ruby person?
Hang on, Ruby, hang on. And there she is.
Hello.
Hello, Ruby. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much for coming into Solihull Radio today. We appreciate your time. Now, let me give you a little bit of introduction. Ruby comes to us as a creative consultant and somebody who is dealing with the promotion and the sort of community cohesion from a place called the Summerhouse Bar and Grill. Now, you might have remembered the Summerhouse Bar and Grill has recently had a rebrand, some reopenings and things along those lines. It's got that local community pub feel. There is the high quality, but there's also the sort of personal experience that people can go to again and again. And Ruby joins us today. Hi, Ruby.
Hi, how you doing?
Very well. Thank you very much for coming into the Solihull Radio studio. Tell us a little bit about where the Summerhouse is based. Where can we come and see you?
Summerhouse is based on the Shaftmore Lane.
Is that the old Shaftmore pub?
It certainly is.
So that's just after that little roundabout going up.
Yes,
Yeah, I know
down
it.
from the station.
I know the one.
It was completely run down, taken over by these really, really nice owners now.
Okay. A little bit of enthusiasm
totally refurbished the entire place, and they've even built a nice conservatory at the back.
Oh, wow. So let's get an idea of the sort of menus. Now, is it a standard pub menu? Can I go and get chicken in a basket and scampi, or is how does it work? What are you serving over there?
So it's a Desi mixed grill.
Okay.
And we serve, we have a lot of specials, Summerhouse specials.
Okay. Listen, I'm looking at the menu now. I'm just doing a little bit of research here, and I'm starting to look. You've got the standard tandoori chickens and things along those lines. It looks like you've got a lot of things going on with soya and marinated soya chunks and things like that. The curry dishes are, as you would think, and I like the way that they've put the little pictures of the chilies next to each dish just to make it a little bit more obvious to what's going on. But there's also a lot of authentic charcoal stuff where you can go down and you can get some of the, presumably the chefs at this place are really experienced chefs, but right at the bottom of the menu, you can still get pie of the week. You can get some lasagna. You can get the normal sort of burgers and things that you'd go to a pub for. But it looks a very sort of wide-ranging menu. So for people that want to go out and have that experience, that sort of personalised experience in their dining.
Curry and a pint, isn't it?
That's quite nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And I think people are very used to all the fine dining in the centre of town, and Ashes in Touchwood have come, but that kind of casual, just rock up in your jeans, have a pint and have a good old curry. It kind of hits the spot, really.
And you get those sort of curries, a couple of sides. And then you're all sorted out, isn't it?
Sorted.
Yeah, and a bread, maybe.
So what I've observed around our Birmingham area, there's a lot of these kind of Desi mixed grill pubs, the other side of the city in places like Handsworth and Perry Bar, but there's been very little on this side. And we've had the trendy types like your Zindias, your Tap and Tandoor, Indian breweries just opened as well. But, there is still a market for people who just want that casual pint. When I want to take my father-in-law, he loves going to places like this.
I always think, and Ruby, you might be able to help me with this, but I always think people like Tap and Tandoor and those sort of places, they're much more street food based. Indian brewery, quick street food. You're not going to sit down and have a main, a rice and a bread in those sort of things. You're going to have quick street with a beer, probably a craft beer nowadays, because a lot of those, especially with Indian brewery, they've got their breweries tacked onto the side as well.
Yeah, that's right.
And if you just want to go, and by looking at the menu, and I'm saying, just having a quick look, the price point is very, very reasonable. An average curry is £7.50. So if you're thinking about those sort of areas, Shaftmore Lane is it a place to go, isn't it? It's not that far out in terms of transport links.
No, and the good thing about it caters for all. We've got kids play outside.
Yeah.
We've even got a pool table inside. darts. We've got different.
I got you. So it's got that pub feel.
Still got the pub feel.
But you're going with a slightly different Indian cuisine and that relaxed environment.
Yeah, so
there you go.
More traditional Indian cuisine.
And this is the Summerhouse Bar and Grill, just along from Hall Green Station, Shaftesmoor. I always want to say Avenue, but it's not.
Shaftesmoor Lane.
Sorry.
So, Ruby, have you noticed it doing in terms like a lot of English pubs have been taken over by Indian families and kind of given it a bigger reinvigoration? I mean, there was a time, wasn't there, Geoff, when people thought the British pub was a dying art form?
Well, to be honest, they were closing at 3 a week, weren't they, at one point? And everyone was saying, well, that's the end of that. Everyone's going to the supermarket to buy their alcohol and it's all coming indoors and things. So, yeah, have you seen an increase or an upturn in...
massive
feet
increase.
Through the door?
Yes, massive increase. I mean, the community liked the fact that, Shaftesmoor used to be called Shaftesmoor. Summerhouse is out and back up again running, and we've still got regulars coming that used to come to Shaftesmoor.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
You are now a friend of Solihull Radio, which means anything that the Summerhouse Bar and Grill are doing needs to be emailed through to me, and then we can put that out on our website and our social medias so that you'll be able to hear.
We'll have to hit the Family Day on Bank Holiday Monday, won't we,
When
Geoff?
is Bank Holiday Monday?
Yes.
Family Day. Tell us
We
what's...
have a big family day happening.
Go ahead.
I think you've got the outdoor barbecue set up for the mixed grills
Nice.
and stuff.
Nice.
So
Depending on the weather, hopefully.
it's always good on the bank holiday. I'll personally guarantee the weather.
Yeah, okay. You heard it first here,
We're going to
everybody.
have a bouncing castle, just like
Fun.
a proper family fun day. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. Well, like I say, thanks for joining us here on
Thank you for
the
having
Food
me.
and Drink podcast. Right, in terms of our food and drink experiences, I this month have been Fazenda.
Oh, yes. It's
Loved
great,
it.
isn't it?
Great fun.
Great.
I turned the beer mat to green quite often, and they just kept coming out with more food.
I know.
I couldn't help it.
And you think you've eaten enough. Or
And
you
yeah,
could
it
always
was good.
squeeze a bit more in.
Do you not think, though, and don't take this the wrong way, Anita, it's very like a high-end harvester?
This is another place I've not been to for many years. So
No,
I know.
You go through...
No, it's not a high-end harvest.
You go through and it's a salad bar, but the salad bar is all like lobster and things like that. And you
Yes, they got the really nice cherry tomato pimentos, and it's very high-end. It's almost like if Harrods did a salad
buffet,
bar, yes.
it would be that, wouldn't it? It's
Yeah.
very good. So, and the Malbec wine is absolutely amazing. Even for a house Malbec, it was really, really nice.
Yeah, they're recommendations.
Where else have I been? I've done a lot of eating around Solihull, just checking places out. Today, for instance, I'm sorry I took the little ones to a Pizza Hut buffet. We've done a lot of small independent restaurants as well, and I must say it's really, really good fun. People are doing some nice work.
You had Pot World opened up last week.
I was there.
How was it?
It was madness. In terms of, and Ruby, you might be able to help on this. Sorry to bring you back into the conversation. I'm not letting you go too quickly after speaking about the Summerhouse Bar and Grill. It was that sort of thing where you have to lean into people and mouth what you want to order over the bar and then lip read what the barman and bar tenders say afterwards. And then when you give them the money, you're not completely sure how much you've spent until you get either no change back.
And they still got the handout.
And they say, no, that's not quite enough. But it
So
was
is
really...
it the same student pop nightclub vibe like the one on Broad Street?
And it is loud, but it's really well decorated.
Looks like great fun.
Yeah, nice vibe, and cocktails and things like that. So yeah, I was there for the pre-launch, if you know what I mean, on the Thursday evening, and good fun.
So another place you should check out in town is Flight Club.
Tell me about that. Now that is a play on words, presumably of the Brad Pitt thing.
Well, I don't know if it comes from there or whether it's coincidental. I don't know, but everyone was going, "Oh, there's 2 rules of Flight Club."
Yeah, there's
and
2
stuff
rules
like that. But maybe it is. I'm not sure. But it's a brand I think that's come out from the north of England, and it's the second one that's opened outside of London. But I thought it's going to be blokey. Don't really fancy go. So I sent the delicious PR team out to investigate, and they gave it a massive thumbs up. It was the design I think is very kind of Victorian quirky. It reminded me of Peaky Blinders Dart Club mashup, and they've got like a little carousel, a little horse. Just if you go onto their Instagram and look at some of the pictures, even their espresso martinis had like a foamy horse imprint on the top of it, and it just looks very cool, very kitsch, and it's just lots and lots of character, very Instagrammable. But the whole thing, I think it's group play on darts, so you could play a team in London or in Manchester. So it's got some dart technology designed by
that's clever,
some space geek apparently, that you can play teams, from everywhere,
different places.
So a lot of girls I know went to it, and they really, really liked it. So I think it's quite a good, fun night out, as an alternative to going to dancing in Pop World.
Okay.
Pre-darts, beer.
Pre-darts.
And then have a boogie at Pop World, yeah.
Okay, brilliant stuff. Is there anything else that we need to be thinking about in terms of food and drink up and coming this weekend?
This weekend, Solihull Fest is happening. Summerfest is happening in Tudor Grange Park. So I think everyone knows that the great lineup they've got coming up with Miss Dynamite, Trevor Nelson, the
Level
Vamps,
42,
Imagination as well.
Human League.
We're all over it, aren't we?
Yeah.
Saturday sounds to be like a really good day. But they've got 20 street food vendors. Prosecco bar, so there's lots there to entertain yourself apart from the music. So we'll be down there on Saturday.
Brilliant.
That'd be good. And then the following weekend, there's Taste of Mailbox in town. So I think they've got a masterclass by Brad Carter from Carters of Moseley. We've got Aluna doing some drinks. Promotions around there, but I think a lot of the food and drink venues around the back are doing stuff. So if you're in town shopping, wander through the mailbox and to the other side, Taste of Mailbox.
Brilliant. Okay, so there are all of the up-and-coming events that we've got to look forward to. Ruby is going to be rushing straight back to the Summerhouse now and working out how they're going to do the bank holiday weekend bonanza, which, of course, is the family fun day. Next time we hook up, I'll have gone to a few more different restaurants around our area and sampled. Me too.
I have lots more to talk about. I think Sky Bar are having a launch of their Secret Garden gin thing tomorrow evening, and we're off to Simpsons again. I know, very decadent.
Tricky, isn't it? It's tricky, this life.
But we'll check out a few more places. I think we're going to hit a few more chains just because they've got a lot more not a lot more, but there's a lot of child-friendly offers. I think we're going to be going to Bill's and Comptoir Libanaise in Grand Central. But yes, we'll have lots of things to talk about.
Great stuff.
On our next podcast.
All right. Well, we'll see you again soon. If you've enjoyed listening to the Solihull Food and Drink podcast, why don't you get in touch with us, studio@solihullradio.com. Any ideas of a place that you would like us to go and review, or would you like to submit your own review? Why don't you get in touch with us and we'll get it out on our podcast. Thank you very much for listening. This featured content podcast, downloadable, and we'll see you again soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Solihullradio.com